Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the next episode of One Season Wonder, and we're with Kaizer Chiefs still. So where are we at? We've jumped quite far ahead, to be fair, even though it only looks like we've played 9 games. We're second in the league after a little bump in the road, but we were on such great form, it really got us up high in the league. So I'll show you all the scheduled matches, and then we'll get into today's game. So the first game after we saw you last was Galaxy. Ball came across in the 83rd minute. A little bit of a mess in the box, which gave us the lead. It was a little late on in the game than I'd like, but it happens. We were dominant throughout the game, having a goal disallowed earlier on. But Bilat then got the ball through to Ngobo, who managed to tuck it away to make it 2-0, and a good start to the league. Next up was TTM in the semi-finals of the top 8 teams in South Africa going head-to-head. So it's not much of a challenge to get to the semi-finals or final, or you don't have to play as many games. But we managed to win this first leg 2-0 at home. First goal there you saw, and then the second one here coming all the way over the top to Manyama, and it was 2-0. The streak of 2-0s kept on going against Bloem Celtics. This time Balat playing it through to Parker, who was sitting just behind the striker, and he got the first goal of the game in 26 minutes. But we weren't done there with our second goal coming from Balat from the penalty spot. We did end up then losing our first competitive game to TTM in the semi-final of the Cup, but nothing too much to worry about as we did manage to squeeze through in the end. Then we took on Cape Town and we absolutely destroyed them. In the first 6 minutes, a ball was played over the top to Castro, who fired home from inside the box. We then did end up conceding the next goal, and they came back swiftly before the second half in the 20th minute. Unfortunately, a little bit of a kerfuffle in the box led to Ajagun getting the goal, but we did retaliate and end up scoring another one just before half-time. Frosler this time looking the ball over the top to Manyama, who did effortlessly finish it into the bottom right-hand corner, which is always nice to see. And then not long after that, in fact, we did, in fact, get a third. So just before half-time, Zuma came down the right-hand side and provided a lovely finish into the near post. Keeper maybe should have done a little better, but we will take it every day of the week. And then just inside the second half, Castro scored a penalty, which was lovely to see. Manyama then came forward again, this time in the 79th minute, laying it off to Zuma, into Nshangi, and Parker getting another goal of the game, popping it home once again. Unfortunately, though, there was a case that they did end up scoring themselves in the 86th minute. Bit of a consolation goal for them, but it wasn't too bad, although Kuhn should probably have done a bit better. Next up was our competition for today in the Cup final, and that was Sundowns, and we absolutely destroyed them. Another rout, this time Castro scoring the first goal, firing from the edge, just like last time. A great goal in the end. Manyama then came forward in the 20th minute to make it 2-1. Playing it out wide to Ngobo, and it was that 1-2 that got us the goal, with Manyama firing from the edge of the box, a lovely finish. And then a third and counter-attack this time, Bilat coming forward, using that electric pace he has from the centre of midfield, playing it across to Castro, who's always going to finish his dinner there. A lovely 3-0 lead inside the first 30 minutes. They did end up getting a goal back from, well, I say from the penalty spot. It was a great save by Kuhn, but in the end they did fire it home after it was laid off Sereno. That didn't stop us though. We did end up getting a fourth in the 63rd minute. Zuma coming forward this time, getting it across. Unfortunately, it wasn't first time, but second time Castro was able to make them pay after a lovely ball in, and he did get his hat-trick for the game. That wasn't the end, with our fifth goal coming from Kuhn's long ball over top, Castro heading it on, and Bilat being able to get onto that lovely finish into the goal. Tigers FC was our next opponent, this time in the Champions League. They're a Malawi professional team, but we made them look like amateurs with a 6-0 rout away from home. Manyama getting on the score sheet first in the first 30 seconds, so it started off very quickly. 18 minutes later, he became a provider to the man who provided him. Zuma with the header at the back post, unmarked. Lovely, lovely goal there. A corner got floated into the box, which ended up cleared, but Manyama again got onto the edge of that and absolutely scored a pile driver. A beautiful goal and a bit of a worldie, if I might say so myself. 20 minutes in and we're 3-0 up. We then got another one. 10 minutes later, Mfela was able to play it out to Manyama, who got another strike on goal with another long-range effort, which was well worth the entry fee on its own. And you got 2 for the price of 1 on that one. Zuma then came forward again in the second half, 60 minutes in, and the ball got played across for Castro to head it home. A simple goal, but a lovely one nonetheless, as we're very, very fluid going forward. And then finally, Nthangi's managed to play the ball back to Matholo, who did look over the top for Bilat to volley home on the first go. We then had the rivals of Orlando Pirates. We managed to cut out their poor ball, well, Zuma did, to get the ball across to Castro to make it 1-0 in the 61st minute. However, it wasn't long after that we in fact conceded an own goal. This time from a corner, it just ricochets around and it comes off Mfele to make it 1-1. We did bounce back, though, with a win against Tigers in the Champions League. 7-2 this time. Absolute whitewash once again. Kumbol coming into the side, scoring his first goal of the season. So that was nice to see. It was 13-2 on aggregate. Pretty crazy, really. I'm a bit gutted that we conceded 2 in this game. But in TNT, another player that came into the side, got the ball across to Kambol, who scored his second of the game, 14 minutes in. And Gobo again coming forward, played it out wide to Ntia once again, and he managed to get another ball in the box. This time Parker scoring the header. There's a couple of assists for Ntia coming into the side, which is great to see. Like you say, they did get a couple of goals in the game. This is one of them on the 30th minute, making it 3-1. Zonda with a lovely strike from the edge of the box, got a yard and fired it home. We did respond to that quite well just before half time with Kambol coming forward once again, and he was able to get that ball across to Nthangi's who was arriving later in the box to make it 4. Again, they retaliated quite well in the second half, initially getting a goal. There was no real worry of a comeback, but a lovely ball over the top, and Zonda was able to get his second of the game for them. But we weren't finished. We wanted to make it a rout, and that's exactly what we did with our 5th goal. And Gobo playing the ball across to Parker, who slotted home nicely on the 63rd minute. And then it took a little while longer. In the 87th, Kambol got his hat-trick for the game, which was lovely, having come into the side for this. And then Nthangis managed to get a ball across, which was headed clear, but Manyama played it back out to Thangis, who crosses it in, and then Nurkovic, who came on, gets his goal. Having played TTM twice in the cup already, we did end up playing them in the league, and just before the half-time mark, we got the 1 goal we needed, with the ball coming across to Zuma, who managed to slot it home. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep our good run of form going, and ended up losing to Swallows 2-1. Some questionable goalkeeping there from Kuhn to not save that, and then just before half time they got a second to make it 2-0. We were very poor this game, having to try and rotate the side because of how close all these matches are. They got their second. We did get a penalty in the 79th minute, but weren't able to get anything from the game in the end. And finally, before today's game, we did take on Amazulu. A lovely goal to start the game with Bacchus getting a free kick in there. These seem to be our rivals for the title, as they are above us in the league now, having won this game against us. It was 4-3 in the end. They came back with Malambi, who is an absolutely phenomenal player in Football Manager for kind of a mid-table side. So I have to say, keep an eye out for him. Again, getting down that right-hand side, he was able to provide the cross for Kawuti to head home. Did bounce out of the goal, but crossed the line nonetheless on the 58-minute mark. They then got another goal to make it 3-1. Malambi again involved for them. Another cross into the box. Kawuti heading down and Majoro getting the ball into the back of the net. We did have a sending off in this game, so that's why we went 3-1 down, I'd say. But the boys reacted, and Gogo was able to play it across to Parker for the header in the 70th minute to bring it back to 3-2. And we did make the comeback. It was 3-3. And Gobo was able to come through, lay it off to Castro, who fired home. They had missed a penalty in the game, and I thought we'd had our luck come from all that and we were going to see the game out. But unfortunately not. In the 92nd minute, they were able to play it around the edge of the box, and a long-range effort where Kuhn's, again, questionable goalkeeping, caused problems. And there we have it. So we are currently sat second in the league on 19 points. Amazulu, who we just played, 20 above us, and then Orlando Pirates on 19 joint points just below. But today we are taking on Sundowns in the Super 8 final. Again, it's not a hard run to get to the final in this. And to be honest, I'll have to take a quick look to see how Kaizer Chiefs actually did in real life, as it is something which we seem to have beaten already. They lost to Kaizer Chiefs quite comfortably as well, 5-2 in the end, in the semi-finals of this competition. So we've already done better in that front, but it'd be great to get the trophy in. So we'll jump into the game and see what we can do. All right, so this is the lineup we will be going for. Unfortunately, Bacchus and Blom, as well as Katsande. So Katsande and Bacchus are two real central midfielders, which are in the entire squad. And they're both out injured, and they're quite lengthy as well. 2 to 5 weeks for Katsande and 3 weeks for Bacchus. So it's tough. It's tough. So Bilat has been playing there anyway because of he's been fantastic there, to be quite honest. And then Nthangatsi, who is naturally a Mazzala or a shadow striker, so a lot more attacking, is playing in the ball-winning midfielder role. So we'll see how that goes. But Mfale, Mathola, Cardozo and Frosler at the back, which are the four that we've stuck with all season. Kuhn in goal. Zuma, Manyama and Kobo just behind Castro, who's been firing the goals. 11 goals in 13 games, which is great to see. We'll jump straight into the game. It's a shame, obviously, we haven't got a full strength side, but I think we can still do the business. So, as you saw in the previous game, we did absolutely smash Sundowns previously, hoping that happens again. But they do come forward initially in the first 6 minutes. Kwetzi with the ball, lays it off to Kekana, who manages to play it around, but Frozza cuts it out lovely. And can we get this counter-attack on the go? We're keeping it at the back a bit long, so the counter-attack might be gone, but what a ball over the top to Zuma by Cardozo. Can he get a yard and get that ball into the box? He tries, not quite, and they are going to likely clear this now, and now it looks like it could be their highlight. Zwain coming forward with the ball. Are we going to be able to grab that off him before he can create something? Not sure. I mean, he's run a long way. He's carrying on going. He's not stopping. Please don't score from this, because that is a hell of a... what a run! He's run from the edge of his own box. Got all the way to the byline and fired it across, and Afonso was the one to put it in the back of the net there. I mean, no one's put enough of a challenge in. Maybe it doesn't help that we haven't got any defensive-minded midfielders, so maybe they just don't really fancy it, but they're 1-0 up in the first 6 minutes. And they're coming forward again. It's not long after. Kekana now with the ball out to Zwain, who got the assist for the last one. Few 1-2s, but we aren't quite able to keep hold of it once we've cut it out. And it comes back to them on this right-hand side where they came from last time. Another header over the bar this time. And it's still 1-0. Obviously, there hasn't been any transfers because there's a transfer ban. That's why I've not shown you anything in that regard. So we've got to stick with the team we've got. I would bring in centre midfielders because we haven't got any. But unfortunately, we're pretty stuck with what we've got. There is a second team and under 23s, that sort of stuff, but none of them are good enough. I'd rather play our attacking-minded players than those guys, unfortunately. But the ball's been played through to Castro. Can he finish this? He's not quite able to, hitting the outside of the post. But it's looking more positive now. It's looking better. 25 minutes in, we can get back in this properly. A long ball forward by Kuhn. Itumilen Kuhn, but they are able to head it away. Zwain now with the ball. He's causing us absolute havoc. It's just like Malambi in the last game. Absolutely nightmarish, running at our defenders. You just can't seem to cope with him at the moment. Not putting a foot in. We haven't created anything. We've had very little chances. We obviously saw that one chance, but Afonso at the back post, it's off the bar. We got lucky again. Kakana on the edge of the box who shoots. It is blocked, and we're not able to get onto that block as Kakana plays it back to Modiba, and the highlight ends just before half-time. We're going to have to change things at half-time to try and get back in this. All right, so I have only made one change, but it is Bernard Parker coming on for Nkobo. I'm hoping a bit of experience maybe helps us settle into the game a bit more. It looks like the boys are a bit kind of anxious, and we will go more attacking as we need to get men forward. It has affected us slightly. It seems like we are doing better now. Still maybe not quite enough as time is ticking away and nothing has happened. Manyama can come on for Bilat, who will move forward. I'm not overly sure what to do here. Maybe what we can do is bring on Nurkovic and pop him up top. What do we think of that? Put Ungis in there. Have him just as a deep-lying playmaker. And then hope for the best. Yeah. Sure. We need a goal. It's the cup final. Why not go for it? We've got two strikers on the field now, and no one's being able to do anything. Zwain with a free kick. Hopefully this doesn't go in. It is wide of the goal. Let's go very attacking, even though we know nothing really happens. Shout-wise, fire them up. Come on, boys. Get into this. Nope. Done nothing. We've not shown anything in the second half, and they've won the title. That is a shame. Bit of a weird banner. Super 8 there. But, yeah. Oh, I can't watch this. I can't watch this. We're not watching this. This is... No, I don't want to watch it. It's made me sad. Well, we did do better than they did in real life, getting to the final, but I'm gutted that we ended up losing to him, having beaten him 5-1 in the league. But there you have it. We were a bit of a disadvantage with the squad we had, with injuries to key players in midfield. But there you have it. We will jump ahead then and get to a little later on in the season then, and we'll see how things go. But I hope you did enjoy. Let me know what you think and what I can do about the midfield situation, because I do not know. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you next time.